But to start off with, very often it is a message which obviously, and it always usually has to, it's a message which usually fits that organization, whether that's an association or a profit organization like Coca-Cola or Google or whoever it is. It must be suiting to that company, to that organization. It must help them. Makes sense, right? I mean, it must help them. How does it help them? Well, for instance, if the association who suggested you to look to this video, they might want to help their members to grow. So they go, wow, that's a great message. I want my helpers to grow. Let's just say a church, if you're a retailer in a relatively local area, or have at least a store in your local area, or if you are a doctor or a dentist or a restaurant owner or some such thing, or a car mechanic, or anything which works in a local area, a church might want to promote a message of goodwill, a message with children and drugs and whatever, you understand? And all of a sudden their clientele or the people they want to reach is also the people you might want to sell something to, and they're more than willing to promote a message of goodwill, or like an association, a message about growing business or whatever it might be. You might even, are you with me on that? Good. So basically there gotta be something in usually for the people who promote you. They won't just, if you say, hey, I have this flyer, one machine that costs $20,000 or one sock costs $5, can you please promote that for me? No, they won't do that. And maybe sometimes they will say, sure, I'm sending out a letter all the time. It costs me usually $1 to send that letter or whatever it is. Can you pay me 20 cents? And I would be willing to put your message in it. Well, that's already a step in the very, very right direction, because you would otherwise have to spend a goddamn $1. And if your message goes into that particular package from that company to whom this person already has contact with, let's just say he sends this to all his clients, okay? Now all of a sudden it right away becomes some type of endorsement, because his clients will go, oh wow, this guy's sending me something for socks or machines or whatever it is, you know, as long as it's you did your homework on finding people who contact the same type of people you want to contact. All of a sudden it looks like an endorsement, obviously. So that's in the right direction. Totally free is also what you're shooting for. Usually there needs to be a little bit more in it in terms of for them, okay? That product needs to at least enhance their people's ability to grow, to whatever it is, so that they go, yeah, I want them to have that. And I'm willing to promote that. And in most cases, there are messages of some type of goodwill, as I said, something which have to do with helping this company who promotes you. That's the message. So the message very often has nothing to do with your product. In fact, no matter what business you're in, and we're going to talk about this in much more detail, no matter what business you're in, you will need to have a message which makes you being a good guy, a jolly good fellow, a humane person. If you don't do that, things are not going to work out. People elect presidents, people go to doctors, people buy machineries from people whom they like as a person. And you need to do lots of stuff to make that happening. Okay? And again, why is there so much business done on the golf course? Because people on the golf course become buddy-buddy. Because they talk many, many things. That's how it works. That doesn't mean you don't need a good product. It doesn't mean you never need to talk about your product. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, look at the last election in the United States of America. The person with the least experience won. By the way, he applied many of those principles which we talked about as principles, like speed. The way he marketed had a lot to do with speed and all kinds of little things. So either way, liked as a person. Call it charismatic, it wouldn't make a damn difference. If you do the right thing, if you learn how to do the right thing, you will become charismatic. That's what it is all about. Good. All right. Message. And point number 4, you got to use all the tools, the modern tools such as internet and whatever the internet is. The word internet would be a very limited way of, in most cases, looking at it. If I don't explain it, and I will explain it, you got to use all the modern tools as well as some of the old tools to get the message out. Because the best message does you do no good at all. Sometimes I hear people saying, for instance, they say, well, why don't we give a seminar? Because apparently, you know, a seminar is obviously considered to have a bunch of people there, 20, 100, 1,000, whatever, right? And so that means you can give your message to lots of people in one shot, and you know, there's live, there's animation, and a seminar is good. Well, I said, that's good, a seminar is good. How do you get people to the seminar? I don't know. Just market to them. Okay, well, so you're back to square one. Doesn't matter. You need to reach people. Those 4 points will do that. You have other people who have already a vested interest in the same type of people you need as customers. Do the marketing for you. By doing so, they actually endorse you, so that particular marketing will work better. In order for them to for you to get them to do it, you most likely must have a message of humanitarian. You must have a message which is one way or the other way useful to the people who should promote you. There got to be something in for them. That message they must say, wow, if my clientele or my whoever they want to contact, which is the same people than you, would know about that, that would be great. So yes, I'm more than willing to put that message on my wagon for free for you. In many, many cases, but not always, the new tools and the old tools, and the new tools being the internet, being videos, videos on the internet, email and stuff like that, will drastically help us to bring the cost of reaching thousands and thousands and thousands of people many, many, many times, make it possible to do so. Because keep in mind, you even need to contact those people who's supposed to be sending your message for free. So even though you might not contact all your potential clientele totally directly, not that you shouldn't do that also. As I told you, this isn't about saving you marketing money. This is about giving you extra marketing money. So let's just say you spend $1,000 a day or a week or a month, whatever it is you spend currently on marketing, okay? It isn't to skip that $1,000. That would be a limited thinking. No, what it is, it's all about getting those other companies to give you $5,000, $6,000, and $10,000 more in marketing. So now you have 10 times as much marketing. It doesn't mean that your marketing budget gets cut. In fact, it might increase because you want to work more, so you get more of those, you know, 10, 15 and $20,000 other people to market. Are you with me? Or you spend it on yourself so you can grow more. It isn't about saving thing. Nothing I do is about saving money. I am not here giving you this seminar or any advice I give you so that you can save yourself to prosperity, because that, my friend, doesn't work. Nobody can save himself to prosperity. You can only shave off so much money of the money you're currently spending. You know? Whether that's 5% or 10%, okay, so you make a little bit more money. Fine. I'm not saying that you couldn't work on being a little more frugal, but usually people are way too frugal when it comes to business, and they try to do everything of it must first work before I surely do it, and I gotta do it as cheap as possible, and their whole attention is just like with the hiring. Oh my God, let's not spend any money on extra personnel, and let's not spend, let's make sure the same people stay, because hiring and training and firing people and costs money, so let's put all the attention on saving that money. Spend all the attention on growing. So the trick, however, is with it getting worse before it gets better, that I make you growing before you go broke. So I know there are some limitations, with all the resourcefulness in the world from you and me together. There are always some limitations. That's what makes it the game. Otherwise, there would be no game again, right? There would be no problems, no limitations, no problems, no game, no fun, no glory, no richness. It's not going to happen. But with these limitations and in mind, my job isn't to cut your marketing budget. My job is to increase your sales, your return. So even if that means increasing your marketing budget at the beginning, remember things getting worse, so that then all of a sudden not weeks, but months later, other companies start marketing for you drastically, and all of a sudden you may have increased your marketing budget by a little bit. All of a sudden, however, other companies start marketing at tremendous amounts, and now you have 10 times as marketing going on as you had before, plus it might be more powerful than what you had before. While still doing that and while still spending money. Why? Because it turned into endorsement. Okay? For instance, what would you rather have? A free a ad where you pay for it in the newspaper, let's say, or wherever you might think to put an ad, a paid ad, or a free newspaper article. The newspaper recommending you. The newspaper, by the way, is another one of these entities and companies, newspaper, trade magazines, I'll get into it, which will be marketing for you for free. Okay? So what do you rather have? A particular trade magazine or newspaper which you pay an ad, or the same size ad, they write an article endorsing you? Which one do you rather have? And the article is for free. Which one would you rather have? Obviously the free article, right? But what about if let's just say you pay $1,000 for the ad, and you would have to pay, I'm not saying you do, $1,000 for the article. Which one would you rather have then? If your answer is not the article, I'm telling you, you're mistaken. Even though sometimes it looks like the ad, paid or not paid, might bring at the moment a little more, but on the long run, the article, if you then use it resourcefully, always will bring huge amount more, always. It's an article, it's not an ad. People don't really believe advertising. It's not that it doesn't have its place. I do advertising. It's just you've got to go as much as possible into endorsements. A newspaper article would do that. Do you understand? All right. So that's the whole idea about that. So I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about point number 1 and point number 3, very heavy, while at the same time touching point number 4. Point number 2 is pretty self-explanatory. The whole thing turns into an endorsement if point number 1 spends money for you. I'm going to do that, but I'm going to make that a new video and a slightly new section just so that you can take a break. All right, here we go. Take a break.